home for America's pastime, WLBL.
Good afternoon, folks. It's a lovely day for Legacy Baseball. Sparky Parker joining you on a Monday afternoon in the Bronx. A slight breeze out of center field, partly cloudy, with the Clippers of Baltimore in the Big Apple to face the Kings of New York. Well, the players are on the field, and as they prepare for the first inning of play, we take you across the Legacy Baseball League this May the 22nd, 1916. The Leviathans of Brooklyn extended their league in the East today to 3 games, with a flurry of trade acquisitions landing their dynasty with another first overall pick in the coming amateur draft. Bobby Batkin and the Bakers are down 3 games after 2 losses in a row to the Boston Banshees. The Richmond Rifles are slumping with a loose grip on third behind a simmering Boston outfit. The Kings and Brewers are vying for the middle ranks, with Baltimore a game up on last place Providence. Out west, Twin Cities is 2 games up on the Dubs of Cincinnati, with Detroit and Pittsburgh split at 500. The Beavers of St. Louis are climbing up the ranks, 19 and 20. They've won 8 of their last 11 games. Across the Missouri, their rival Reds are only a game down, with Chicago and Cleveland in the bleachers. Well, that wind is coming in from center field as the players are nearly finished with their warm-ups. We'll take you to live action now. As the players complete their warm-ups, we'll take a look at the starting lineup. William Bennett has the start at the hot corner. Edgar Hart is at short. The second baseman is Godfrey Barney, and Edgar Maslin is at first base. In the outfield, Palmer Flory is in left, and the Wonder Boy Neil Pound in command at center field, with Edward Chilcott next door in right. Robert Thompson will do the catching. The 37-year-old southpaw, Gus Young, is on the mound for New York today, his 5th year of Major League service. Gus features a 4-pitch mix. He walks about 3 per game, off to a strong start this spring with a 2.66 ERA across 44 innings. He is 2-2 on the season. Well, due up for Baltimore, it'll be Maris, Fowler, and Wyeth, right fielder, shortstop, third baseman. And with the lineups exchanged and Gus Young on the field, we are set to get things underway here in the Bronx. First pitch underway from Young into the lefty Maris. Outside pitch is hacked foul over the head of the catcher. 0-1. Well, some rain threatening here this afternoon, but it looks like those clouds may pass us by. That wind is heading out of center field. A deep center field here in New York. Neil Pound playing neutral. It'll be Roger Maris, 0-1. Look in from Young. Here's the pitch. That'll be roped right up the center. Up the middle is Maris. He'll have a base hit. Played on the hop by Pound, and it's in quick. And Maris is aboard. A leadoff single. Well, Maris improves that .269 average, his 44th hit of the season. And due up second will be the Music Man, Elroy Fowler. Well, we spoke to Baltimore GM Jim Burns before the game. Had nothing but praise for Fowler. Top 5 single-season win above replacement honors for every season between 1910 and 15, and that is quite a record and achievement, folks, as Fowler has got it done. Slow start for the Music Man this year, 225, 11 RBIs. And Maris with a narrow lead on first. It'll be the lefty Young from the stretch. Look into Thompson. Here's the pitch to the Music Man. That'll be hit into left field. It's drifting toward the foul line. We'll see if the left fielder can reach it in time. It is out of play over the stands. So 0-1 now to Fowler. Young will look in from the stretch. Maris with his lead. Pitch into Fowler. 0-1. Left field. Looks like it's in about the same spot. Left fielder might have a chance this time, but it bounces foul, just out of reach, beyond the Calvert sign, and it's 0-2. Both teams struggling here in the bottom half of the standings this season, but plenty of baseball left in the year, new ownership in New York, and we could see some roster changes in the near future. Fowler will take the 0-2 on the way from Young from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Outside, just misses, a 4-seamer. It'll be 1-2. Maris without a lot of speed, but he will steal more than his fair share. Here's the pitch to the lefty Fowler with Maris on first. 1-2, inside in the dirt. Good block by Thompson, it's 2-2. 1 on, nobody out here in the top of the first. Here's the 2-2 on the way to the Music Man. Outside. And Fowler works the count full. Fowler a good contact hitter despite his slow start. Average speed on the base paths. Looking to move Maris up on here early. And here's the payoff from Young to Fowler. Maris on first. Hacked foul. Just underneath that fastball, and we'll do it again. 3-2. Young looks into Thompson. Here's the pitch on the way to Fowler. Well, Maris takes off on the hit and run, but he retreats as a weak fly ball is hit to the back of the infield. Edgar Hart will have it, 1 down. So the Music Man is retired, and it'll be Elmer Wyeth up, the third baseman for Baltimore. He's hitting .316 with 17 RBIs and 3 home runs. Quite a bit of power for the young third baseman. And with 1 out and Maris on first, here's the look in from Young. Pitch to the righty Wyeth. And the runner goes. Maris takes off. The throw to second will be late on the head first slide, and Maris is in there with a steal. Good jump by Maris, and that'll remove the force. Thompson might have held up with that ball just a bit, but Maris is on second now, so Baltimore has a runner in scoring position early. It'll be Young with the look into Thompson. Here's the pitch to the righty Wyeth. Wyeth, .316 on the year, good start. That pitch is a ball, misses downstairs, 2-0. Young with 18 strikeouts and 15 walks on the year. 13 earned runs and 44 pitches. Maris with the lead from second, the 2-0 on the way to Wyeth. Check swing is called a strike. Right at the letters, it's 2-0. Call that 2-1. Maris, narrow lead. Infield normal on Wyeth. 1 out, here's the 2-1. That pitch is a strike upstairs. Another fastball, so 2 four-seamers. Makes it 2-2 to Wyeth. Wyeth with a above average pop to his bat. He walks about average for the league. He is very slow on the base path, so Maris on second is a good advantage for the Clippers here. 2-2. Runner in scoring position. The look into Thompson. Here's the pitch to Wyeth. Hacked foul down the third baseline. It'll be 2-2 again. 1 out. Top of the first. Here's the pitch from Young to Wyeth. He ropes that one down the left field line, but it hooks foul into the stands. So we'll do it again. 2 foul balls in a row now. It has been 4 four-seam fastballs in a row from Young. Challenging Wyeth early here. 2-2. Here's the pitch in. He fouls it the other way, this time toward the home dugout. 3 foul balls in a row. That one was a slider. Little underneath it. 2-2. 1 out. Here's the pitch with Maris on second. Hacks another one foul. Wyeth is battling here. He hasn't earned that .316 average for nothing. 2-2, 1 out. Maris with the lead on second. Here's the look into Thompson from Young. Pitch on the way to Wyeth. High fly ball in the infield. Looks like the second baseman will handle it. He waves off hard, and that's 2 down. Well, the Clippers are a young rebuilding team. They've been in a long rebuild, acquiring some very talented youth that we're seeing here peak. George Holbert, good example. Above average hitter, just .228 on the year. But a lot of good scouting reports on Holbert. He'll face Young with 2 down, Maris on second. The look in from Young. Here's the pitch on the way to the righty Holbert. That is a ball, high and outside, and it'll be 1-0. 1-0 now to Holbert. Big lead from Maris. Here's the pitch inside. Call the ball, and it's quickly 2-0. It's been change-up fastball to young Holbert. 31 hits on the year, 11 RBIs. Maris still on second. Outfield straight up on Holbert. Here's the pitch in. Check swing. Called a strike up high, and that might have missed the zone. Holbert certainly thinks so as he cleans his cleats off. It's 2-1. Some chirping from the visitor dugout. And here's the 2-1 with 2 outs on the way to George Holbert. Late swing. Make it 2-2. He whiffed on a big slider. Good movement there from Gus Young. He splits the count, 2-2, 2 outs. Maris on second, look into Thompson. Here's the pitch to Holbert from Young. Hacked foul. These batters really battling Young here in the top of the first. Should be a good matchup today, of course. Everyone looking to see Neil Pound. Neil Pound off to a smoking start, over a .350 average out there in center field. Here's the 2-2 on the way to George Holbert. Inside pitch is hit on the infield and snagged by the second baseman. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man left on. That'll do it for Baltimore. We go to the bottom of the first. Starting defense for the Baltimore Clippers. Elmer Wyeth is at third, and the music man Fowler at short. John Marshall at second, and George Holbert at first. Stuart Marsden has the start in right. Newell Barnett at center, and Ralphie Maris is in right. Connie Smith, the Maryland native, will do the catching. Well, on the mound for the Clippers today, making his Major League debut, is Marco Haynes. 26 years old, he was signed just last month on a minor league contract. Haynes is a product of the United States Naval Academy. He features an impressive 6-pitch arsenal, good movement on his breaking pitches. But the young hurler will struggle with control. He is a product of the Providence farm system, drafted in 1912. Released earlier this year. Well, here's Marco's first Major League pitch here to get things started in the bottom of the first. He'll face Robert Thompson, the catcher, hit just a $1.89 on the year. It'll be Thompson, Hart, Pound to start things off for the New York Kings, and the look into Smith, and the pitch is on the way. That pitch is inside, downstairs, called a ball. And here's the 1-0 from Haynes to the catcher Thompson. Lefty versus lefty today, here in the Bronx. 2-0 on a sinker that misses outside. Look in from Haynes to Smith. Here's the pitch to the righty Thompson. Swings on an outside pitch over the head of the third baseman and into left field. That'll be a base hit, played on 2 hops. And Thompson is aboard here in the bottom of the first with the leadoff single. So Thompson will be on first base for the shortstop Edgar Hart. Hart hitting .240 with 8 RBIs. Good speed. Bit of a league average, maybe a little bit low average bat from Hart. Thompson with a narrow lead. Haynes looks in from the stretch. Here's the pitch to the righty Hart. It'll be downstairs, a change-up. String pulled a little too hard, and it's 1-0. Outfield, infield, straight up on Hart with the runner on first. No outs. Here's the 1-0 on the way. That'll be a base hit that is saved by the second baseman and throw back to first. And he knew the runner might be too far off the bag. It's a double play. What a play by Marshall. Well, he had to jump high for that line drive, and it'll be a 4-3 double play, and just like that, there are 2 outs. Haynes claps with his glove. I don't know how he caught that ball. There's 2 outs now. Great play by Marshall, and of course here comes Neil Pound. Well, Neil Pound is electrifying the baseball world, hitting .351, 20 RBIs. 53 hits and 151 at-bats, and he is basically unstoppable by Eastern League pitching. We'll see if Haynes can sit Pound down some today. A long and successful career ahead of Neil Pound, and Haynes looks in. Not who you want to face on your Major League debut, and with 2 outs, here's the pitch to Pound. That pitch is inside, good eye. And it's a 1-0. No shift on from Pound. Here's the 1-0. Check swing. Wraps off the bat, and it's 1-1. Last year, Neil Pound .22 average, struck out just 19 times, 24 walks, 46 RBIs, and 1 home run. He is a career .239 hitter, if you can believe it. .329, rather. 1-1 now on the way to Clown Pound. Inside pitch is swung on and hit right to the shortstop. Great snag by the Music Man, and that does it for the New York Kings here in the bottom of the first. Innings over, nothing on 1 hit for New York, and we go to the top of the second. Well, some good defensive plays by Baltimore. Keeps it 0-0. It'll be John Marshall up. It'll be Marshall, Marsden, Barnard here in the top of the second. Gus Young, 24 pitches so far. A lot of patience from Baltimore. Good at-bats. He'll face Marshall, a .300 hitter this year. 15 RBIs, 45 hits, and a home run. Here's the pitch on the way. Pitch is high and outside for ball 1. That was a fastball. A lot of fastballs from Young early on. He has 15 walks on the year. Here's the 1-0 on the way to John Marshall. Marshall had that great snag last frame. A swung strike on a slider makes it 1-1. Well, here's the 1-1 on the way to Marshall. High fly ball hit well into left field. That one has some carry. It's over the life buoy sign. And it's a goner. Marshall hits one way out there. His second home run, 413 feet. Baltimore up 1-0 on the solo blast from John Marshall. Marshall smoked that ball. Fastball right down the middle. And that one is in the harbor. Baltimore leaps up 1-0 on New York. It'll be Stuart Marsden due up. We'll fix the screen. Marsden up after the Marshall solo shot, and he'll face Young. No outs. Top of the second here. Nobody on. Here's the pitch from Young. Outside in the dirt. Called a strike. Some protest there. Nothing to be done. It's 0-1. Marsden settles in. The look in from Young to Thompson. Here's the pitch to the lefty. Pitch is downstairs again. This time the fastball called a ball. It's 1-1. Outfield shallowed for Marsden. Marsden hitting .209 with 10 RBIs on the year. Decent contact hitter and a good eye. He'll draw his fair share of walks. Here's the pitch, the 1-1 on the way to Marsden. He hacks it foul, and the count falls to 1-2. Marsden in a hole with no outs. Here's the look in from Young and the pitch on the way. That one down in the dirt again, and Young has been low to Marsden, trying to stay away from the top of the strike zone. It's 2-2 now, even split. And here's the 2-2 from Young. That one's hit on a base hopper into right field, and Marsden will be aboard. So some good hitting from Baltimore, attacking early on. Third hit of the game, and Marsden is on first for right-handed batter Newell Barnard. Barnard hitting .253 with 12 RBIs. League average hitter. Marsden takes a narrow lead off first. Nobody out. Here's the pitch from Young. Hit and run. The runner goes. That's a line drive screaming into center field off the life buoy sign. The runner rounds second. We'll see if he pumps the brakes. The ball late to come in, and the runner's headed home. Scoring is Marsden. Pound late on that throw in, and Barnard is safe. So an extra base hit, an RBI double, and Baltimore's now up 2-0. Barnard smoked that ball. Right in the gap between Flory and Pound. No chance on that play, and Pound late to get it in. And another run crosses for Baltimore. And it'll be the catcher, Connie Smith, up. He's hitting 200 on the year. Smith batting from the 8-hole. Barnard with a big lead on second. Young looks back, digs in. Here's the pitch on the way to Thompson. Outside to Connie Smith. Ball 1. 1-0 with the runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch from Gus Young. Downstairs again, and Young has struggled with the strike zone so far. We mentioned his control. It's 2-0 now. Barnard with the same lead on second. Infield, outfield, straight up on Connie Smith. Here's the pitch to the righty. Late swing and a miss on the fastball. 2-1. Connie Smith takes the mail train. We'll try it again. It's 2-1 here. Barnard with the lead on second. Here's the pitch in from Young. Outside and low. 3-1 now. Baltimore continuing to work those counts. Here's the 3-1 to Connie Smith. A called strike. The slider that catches the bottom corner of the plate. Good pitch, and it'll round the count to full. Young looks back. The sign from Thompson. With no outs, here's the payoff pitch to the catcher, Connie Smith. He wraps one foul. A line drive screaming down the third baseline, but it hooks foul. And we'll do it again. 3-2. 39 pitches for Gus Young. Here's the pitch to Connie Smith. That one's hit weakly on the ground. It will advance the base runner, but no trouble to get it to first in time. Barnard advances to third, and the runner is put down. So 1 out now for the pitcher, Marco Haynes. Well, he had his first Major League pitch. Here's his first Major League at-bat, facing Gus Young. And with Barnard on third and 1 out, here's the pitch from Young to Haynes. He wraps it right to the second baseman. They were playing shallow, no trouble. Bit of an awkward throw, but he's there in time. Barney nearly overthrew the first baseman. But Haynes is out, and there are 2 down. That'll flip over the Baltimore order. It'll be Maris again. Maris 1 for 1 today. With 2 outs and Barnard on third, here's the pitch from the lefty Young. That ball is off the plate outside to the left-handed batter. It's 1-0. Barnard, big lead from third. Young takes a look. Looks into Thompson. Here's the pitch to Maris. Hit weakly to the pitcher. He'll take it up and throw it to first base in time. Save the run. But not before 2 runs cross for Baltimore. So a good, strong inning for the Clippers. We go to the bottom of the second with the Clippers leading the Kings 2-0. It'll be Maslin, Bennett, Flory due up for the Kings. Haynes at just 8 pitches, so very efficient in his first frame as a big leaguer. Maslin hitting .248 with 18 RBIs. Good power batter. Below average speed. Look in from Haynes. Here's the pitch. Outside. Call it inside. 1-0. Haynes misses with the changeup. Maslin settles in. Here's the pitch. This one in the dirt again. Another changeup, so he's missed twice with it. He shakes off Smith. Here's the pitch on the way to Maslin. 2-0. Another one misses, this one high, and it was a splitter this time. 3 straight balls to Maslin, who has a very good eye. And the leadoff hitter is 3-0. Here's the pitch from Haynes. Inside pitch, 4 pitches, and a walk. So first walk of the night for Marco Haynes. His first Major League walk. That'll put Maslin on first for William Bennett. Bennett, the third baseman, is hitting .262 with 17 RBIs. Another one of those above-average power hitters. He hits from the right side of the plate. Last year, he hit .266 with 42 walks. So he'll draw more than his fair share. Well above league average. And with Maslin on first, here's the pitch from Haynes to Bennett. He'll check him at first. No dice. Boos from the crowd. And the look into Smith. Pitch to Bennett from Haynes. Outside. 1-0. Maslin with a very narrow lead. Nobody out. 1 on here in the bottom of the second. Pitch on the way to Bennett. That's wrapped to the shortstop. Up with it in time is Hart. Throws over to first. And it's a 6-4-3 double play. Well executed by the infield. We'll call that Fowler Marshall Holbert instead. Really strong start by Baltimore. Some very good defense. Eliminates the base runner. 2 outs now for Flory. Palmer Flory originally came up as a pitcher, but an above average bat growing up. Just 192 on the year, so officially in a slump here early on this spring. Just 7 RBIs. He's batting in the 6 hole. 2 outs, pitch on the way from Haynes. Fouled away. It's 0-1. We had a brief chat with the new Kings general manager, Scott Thomas, before the ball game. Scott Thomas, rather. He told us every player is under assessment to best decide the future of the organization. So, keeping an eye on all of his players, we could expect some changes. It's 0-2 quick now to Palmer Flory. Should see some more shakeups here for the Kings. And here's the 0-2 from Haynes. Downstairs, called a ball. Borderline, 1-2. Flory with a good take. He has about average speed for the league. He takes the 1-2 from Haynes. Inside pitch. He's called the ball. That one further off the plate. It's 2-2. The outfield is shallow for Flory. Infield normal. Here's the pitch. 2-2. 2 outs. He holds up. Another low pitch makes it full count with 2 outs now. Good eye by Flory. And here's the 2-out payoff pitch from Haynes. Check swing, called the ball. So a good eye by Flory. It'll draw a walk here. Second walk of the night for Marco Haynes. It'll bring up Edward Chilcott, hitting .238 with 3 RBIs from the 7 hole. Had a cup of coffee last year. 16 at-bats, 5 hits, 4 RBIs. And here's... Oh, they try to pick him off at first, no dice, so Flory back in time. Pitch on the way to Chilcott from Haynes. Fly ball. Shallow right field, could be foul as it's coming down quickly. Drifts into the stands, 0-1. Flory with a narrow lead with 2 outs, 0-1. Here's the pitch, inside, and it's 1-1. Ames will shake Smith off, find something he likes. Here's the 1-1 to the righty Chilcott. Called ball on the outside, and it's 2-1. Flurry of trades this week as Brooklyn somehow comes out ahead of the pile with a first-round overall pick through various dealings with Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Pittsburgh and Providence, rather. 2-1 now. Check swing. A sinker called strike splits the count at 2-2. 2 outs now on Chilcott, runner on first. New York trying to strike back here in the bottom of the second. They trail Baltimore 2-0. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and a first strikeout of the night for Haynes. His first major league strikeout ends the side. We head to the top of the third, with Baltimore ahead of New York 2-0. Well, due up for the Clippers. It'll be Fowler, Wyeth, Holbert. Fowler 0 for 1 today. And that 224 start is not indicative of the fine time wins above replacement leader. Young up to 43 pitches. We'll get things started here in the third. Here's the pitch to the Music Man. Outside, down low, ball 1. Young's been starting off a lot of battles with change-ups here. He did in the second multiple times. He's doing it again here in the third. 1-0 now to Fowler. The look in and the pitch. It is a called strike down. Just caught the corner of the strike zone. A fastball throws Fowler up. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Gus Young. Down low, 2-1. Well, Fowler can really wreak havoc with extra base hits in a big outfield like the one here. It's 2-1 now. He hacks one back, a late swing on another fastball, 2-2. Fowler with about a league average eye. 2-2 on the way. Outside. 4 fastballs in a row now. It's a full count as Fowler's making Young work for it. And here's the payoff to the Music Man. No outs. Hacked foul. We'll do it again. And the payoff pitch to the Music Man Fowler. Young delivers, and Fowler is aboard. A fastball that misses, a lot of downstairs misses. All of those balls were well beneath the strike zone. And Fowler is aboard for Wyeth. Well, Wyeth, he can really crush a ball. We'll see if Young even gives him the fastball here with Fowler on first. The look in, the sign from Thompson. From the stretch, here's Young to Wyeth. He'll check him at first. Good step off there, but no dice. Fowler back in time, dusts himself off. Young looks in, settles in. Here's the pitch to the righty Wyeth. Well, it's hit weakly down at the third baseline. That could be another double play, and it's there in time. Well, it's Bennett to Barney, and the 5-4-3 puts 2 outs on the board. Some good old-fashioned LBL defense here early in the Bronx. And it'll be George Holbert up now. He's 0 for 1. Good power. The double play takes the base runner away. And with 2 outs, here's the pitch from Gus Young. A called strike down the middle makes it 0-1. 137 at-bats on the year for Holbert. 1 home run, just 11 RBIs. He bats clean up. Here's the 0-1. Check swing, called a ball downstairs. 2 fastballs in a row now. And here's the 1-1 on the way to George Holbert. Young with the delivery. Wraps down the third baseline, just foul. He'll get another chance. It's 1-2. 2 outs here in the top of the third. And the 1-2 on the way from Gus Young. Inside pitch is swung on and hit weakly into right field. There in time is Chilcott, and the side is retired. Nothing across for Baltimore, and the Clippers are still out in front 2-0. Well, it's the bottom of the third now for Marco Haynes. He has just 25 pitches here in his first ever LBL game. He's given up 2 walks and a hit with a strikeout. And it'll be Barney, Young, and then back to the top of the order for Thompson here for New York. New York with just a hit so far, heading into the third inning of work. And here's the pitch on the way to the second baseman, Godfrey Barney, from Marco Haynes. Delivery. That is high, and it's ball 1. The outfield is shallow on Barney. And here's the 1-0. Outside pitch is swung on and missed, a curveball, and it's 1-1. Barney hitting 193 on the year, 5 RBIs. And here's the 1-1 pitch from Marco Haynes. Inside pitch is swung on, wrapped down the first baseline, foul, 1-2. No outs here in the bottom of the third. Looks like that rain's staying clear of us here in the Bronx. That's good news. 1-2 now from Haynes to Barney. Well, that's hit deep to the shortstop. Good recovery. Flipped over well in time. The Music Man with another good stop makes it 1 out here in the bottom of the third for New York. The pitcher, Gus Young, is up, hitting 111. He does have 1 RBI on the year. He's at just 9 at-bats. And at Hames at 29 pitches. Here's the pitch to the pitcher, Gus Young. Downstairs, a fastball well off the plate, and it's a 1-0. Well, it's a packed house tonight. Neil Pound sure is drawing the spectators and rooters here to Kings Field in the Bronx. Not too late to come to the ballpark. It's a fly ball to center field. Barnett hustling, and he makes the grab. So 2 down now. It'll be the catcher, Robert Thompson. He's 1-1 on the night already, hitting 196 on the year. The outfield's still shallow for Thompson. And with 2 outs, here's the pitch from the lefty, Marco Hames. Outside, downstairs, a curveball that misses. It's 1-0. The lights are coming on here at the Bronx this evening. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, called a ball, downstairs and inside to the righty. It's 2-0. Hames with the look in, nobody on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. The pitch on the way. Downstairs, called a strike. That was a sinker. Good 2-seamer with a late break there from Marco Hames. Makes it 2-1. Thompson ahead 2-1. Here's the pitch on the way from Hames. He wraps it foul to even the count at 2-2. Took the express train on the changeup. Good changeup by Hames. 2 walks so far tonight. It's 2-2. Only 1 hit from New York so far. Here's the righty Thompson. And that's a line drive to the second baseman and snagged. Marshall handles it again for the out. The New York third is over. 1-2-3 go the Kings. The score remains 2-0 in favor of the Clippers. And we'll be back after a short break on your home for America's pastime, WLBL.
Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Legacy Baseball on WLBL, home of America's pastime.
Hear me, lads, and listen, well, a tale I shall tell of Baltimore's own Clippers brave, so listen close and well. Their skipper's name was Caraway, a pottery true and bold, with quirks and charms and faith so strong, a sight for all to behold. Oh, it's 4 white bags to make the run. It's 3 called strikes till the at-bat's done. It's 2 teams out to claim the day, but there's only one at Caraway. He'd pace the dugout, rosary beads a-clackin' in his hand, and bless the bats and balls and gloves throughout this baseball land. He'd yell out plays in Latin, though the players scratched their heads, but somehow victory would come like loaves and fishes spread. Oh, it's 4 white bags to make the run. It's 3 called strikes till the at-bat's done. It's 2 teams out to claim the day, but there's only one at Caraway. He wore his priestly collar beneath his baseball cap and argued with the umpires till their patience near did snap. He'd quote the scriptures verse and line when a call went wrong and claim divine intervention to make his team more strong. He'd bless the ground before each game with holy water bright and swear the diamond's sacred space would bring the Clippers light. The fans would cheer and holler at this peculiar sight. Go on, Father Caraway, they'd roar with all their might. Oh, it's 4 white bags to make the run. It's 3 called strikes till the at-bat's done. It's 2 teams out to claim the day, but there's only one at Caraway. One time a batter stepped up with fear within his eye. He'd struck out twice already beneath the mock-town sky. Father had approached him with a twinkle in his gaze. My son, he said, just trust in God and play in righteous ways. The batter swung, the ball connected, a crack that filled the air. A home run sailed beyond the fence, a hit beyond compare. The crowd went wild, the team rejoiced and lifted him on high. It's a miracle, they all agreed beneath the watching sky. Oh, it's 4 white bags to make the run. It's It's 3 strikes till the at-bat's done. It's 2 teams out to claim the day, but there's only one at Caraway. So raise a glass to Father Ed, the priest of baseball fame. He brought the Clippers victories and glory to their name. He showed the world that faith and sports could go hand in hand. A legend of the diamond in this fair and fertile land. He taught them how to hit the ball and how to live with grace, and how to find the winning run with God's own saving grace. So let the cheers ring out for him, this Padre good and true, the one and only Caraway, a Clipper through and through. Always 4 white bags to make the run. It's 3 strikes till the at-bat's done. It's 2 teams out to claim the day, but there's only one at Caraway. Hi.
Your home for America's baseball coverage is WLBL, the official broadcaster of Legacy Baseball.
Well, we welcome you back to the ballpark here, and your home for America's pastime, WLBL. Well, it's been a great defensive game so far. Some quick hitting by Baltimore puts them up 2-0, but still a very close game as we head to the top of the 4th. Now, those of you who have followed the LBL for some time will remember the name Micah Weaver. Perhaps the most memorable Clipper to date. Retired now. He has a record 22 wins in a single season, and Micah won 20 or better in 4 separate campaigns. And it wasn't long ago that Micah was one of the top pitchers in the Eastern League, and he was a beauty to watch at the mound. But back in present time, it'll be John Marshall up. Marshall, Marsden, Barnard here in the top of the 4th. Marshall is 1 for 1. He has had some outstanding defensive plays today. And we'll get things underway here. In the top of the 4th, pitch on the way from Young. Young up to 55 pitches. Not too shabby. Inside pitch. A ball. And it's 1-0. Young looks in. Here's the pitch on the way to John Marshall. Outside pitch is swung on and hit to the third base, and up with it in time and flipped over on the high throw. 1 away. And Bennett had to be quick for that one. The off-balance throw was a little high, but a very good defensive play. Makes it 1 out here for Stuart Marsden. Marsden 1 for 1 today as well, hitting .215 on the year. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 4th. The look into Thompson from Young and the pitch to the lefty Marsden. Wrapped foul. And it's 0-1. Well, Young overall is a fly ball pitcher, but he's given up some line drives today. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Baltimore would like to add to their 2-0 lead. They're in the middle of their order. Here's the pitch on the way, the 1-1 to Marsden. Called strike, a slider, catches the top of the zone. It's 1-2. 1 out, nobody on. To look in from the lefty Young, and here's the pitch. Hit up the middle. The second baseman can't get to it. It'll be into the outfield. Shortstop misses it. Comes in quickly, and it's another base hit. Make it 2 for 2 for Stuart Marsden today. So Baltimore with another base runner. It'll be Newell Barnard up. He's also 1 for 1 with an RBI. Baltimore now 5 hits to New York's 1 in the 4th. Young will check Marsden. To look in from the stretch. Here's the pitch to the righty Barnard. Runner goes on the hit and run. Hit well down the third baseline and thrown off balance to get 1 on the fielder's choice. Well, Marsden was lucky he started early on that one. He avoids another double play. So the fielder's choice makes it 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Marsden now on second for Connie Smith. Smith is 0 for 1, and the outfield is normal for him this time around. Here's the pitch. Hacked foul. Misses a fastball by about a hair, and it's 0-1. Connie Smith is a career 189 hitter. He hit 250 in May. Or he's hitting 250 in May so far. They're looking from Young, who's up to 63 pitches. Marsden on second. 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Connie Smith. Outside. 1-1. Marsden takes his lead from second. Here's the pitch. Well downstairs. Misses with a changeup, and it's 2-1. Well, Baltimore threatening here in the fourth. 2 outs, 2-1 on the way to catcher Connie Smith. Inside pitch is a ball, and it's 3-1. Young with just 1 walk so far today. 3-1 now. Check swing is called a ball. Connie Smith is aboard. And it'll be runners on first and second now for the pitcher Marco Haynes. Haynes is 0 for 1. 2 outs, 2 on. Here's the pitch from Gus Young. Called strike, fastball. Right down the middle, it's 0-1. Young with a pretty good fastball, a little above league average. 2 outs, 0-1 to the pitcher Haynes. Runners with their leads. 1-1 on a ball. Another fastball, this one misses upstairs. It's 1-1. Here's the pitch from the stretch. High fly ball, hooking left field. It's curving. Could be foul. It finds foul ground. Haynes with a lucky break. Good powerful swing by the pitcher. It's 1-2 now with 2 outs. Runners take their leads. The look in from Young to Thompson. Here's the pitch to the lefty Haynes. Inside. Good eye by Haynes. Count evens at 2-2. Marsden in scoring position. Smith on first. Haynes will take the pitch from Gus Young. That one called a ball, and another full count. That has to be the 5th or 6th full count now. Baltimore showing very good discipline at the plate. And it's full for Marco Haynes here in the top of the 4th. Looking from Young, he shakes him off. Shakes his catcher Thompson off, finds one he likes. Here's the full count payoff from the stretch from Young. Runners go. Fly ball, shallow right field. But Chilcott is there and he makes the catch. The Clippers get 2 base runners but do not score. And they keep the lead 2-0. Well, we head to the bottom of the 4th now. It'll be Hart, Pound, Maslin near the top of the New York order. Plenty of time to get some momentum and catch up to the narrow 2-0 lead. But New York needs some more hits. This Major League debut for Marco Haynes has gone very well through 3 frames. He's hoping to continue that with just 36 pitches. Well below league average for the 4th inning. And the outfield is shallow for Edgar Hart. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. High fly ball, mid-center field, chasing after it. It gets deep. The wind carries that one. We told you the wind was blowing out there. And it just takes the ball and dumps it into the fin. Hart cruises into second on an easy double. The wind really got a hold of that line drive. The ball has just come in. Hart probably could have crab walked to home with how far that ball was, but he got held up at second. So the Kings choose the better part of valor on the deep line drive, bouncing around that strange center field. But with no outs, they have a runner on second. They're posed to strike, and here comes Neil Pound. Neil Pound 0 for 1 today, 349 on the year with 20 RBIs. He leads the league in batting average, 407 on base percentage. Hart with the lead on second. He has 6 stolen bases this year. And with no outs, here's the pitch to the slugger Neil Pound. Called strike down low. Good 2-seamer by Marco there. And you have to respect Marco, the rookie's confidence here today. In his first ever game, he is challenging Neil Pound. He put one right in the sweet spot there, but it broke late. Fooled Neil, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Inside swing and a miss by Pound. Make it 0-2. And some real guts from Marco Haynes. 0-2 now on that fastball. Hard with the lead on second. The outfield is straight up for Neil Pound. Here's the pitch on the way.
Strike three.
Swing and a miss. And Marco Haynes guns down Neil Pound. And he'll circle the mound. Outstanding at bat for Marco Haynes. And the kid is getting it done. Big strikeout for the Clippers. And with one out, it's Edgar Maslin. He walked in his last at bat, 18 RBIs on the year. Hart takes his lead from second. From the stretch, Haynes takes the side. Here's the pitch into Maslin. Outside, ball one. Outfield straight up on Maslin as well. Hart with a big lead on second. Here's the pitch to the righty Maslin. That is a line drive that's going to ricochet off the wall. It bounces in for the right fielder. They're sending the runner home. He's back before the ball even comes into the infield. It's an RBI double for Maslin. And here come the New York Kings. They cut the lead by Baltimore to 1. It's 2-1 now here in the fourth. On the RBI double from Edgar Maslin. It'll bring up William Bennett. Bennett is 0 for 1 on the day, 260 on the year. He has a good eye, and Haynes into his first bit of trouble here. We'll see how the rookie reacts. That's his third hit allowed. He has 2 walks. And with Maslin in scoring position, Haynes will look into Smith, shakes him off. Here's the sign. And the pitch to William Bennett. Outside for a ball. The two-seamer misses, 1-0. Maslin with the big lead. The Kings just down 2-1. Here's the 1-0 on the way to William Bennett. He swings. It's hit hard to the shortstop, but it's bobbled. Fowler bobbles that ball. And it'll be an E6 to put Bennett aboard. And now Haynes is in some real trouble. Here comes Palmer Flory. Well, Flory with a very slow start, but he heated up in May. His average up to 271 in May. Just 3 strikeouts. And a chance for New York to get the go-ahead here. Here's Flory. It's called strike, a two-seamer, well placed. Only 1 out. Maslin on second, Bennett on first. Haynes looks into Smith. And here's the pitch to the righty Flory. It's hit up the middle, snagged by the second baseman, and throw back to first. It is another double play. Well, you'd have to see it to believe it, folks. Fine play by Marshall. Marshall is a wizard today. He did it again. 1 run on 2 base hits, 1 error, and a runner left on another double play. The Kings pull closer, but Baltimore still ahead 2-1. Well, I don't know what you do as a base runner there. That did not look catchable off the bat. But we're at the top of the 5th now. For Baltimore, back to the top of their order, it'll be Maris, Fowler, Wyeth. Maris 1 for 2 today. Young is at 73 pitches, so he'll see probably 3 more frames or so. The look into Thompson. Here's the pitch by Young to Maris. Old Gus fires away. That's hit down the third baseline and gets into the outfield. Maris with another hit. And it'll be another single for Maris. So no outs. A leadoff hit puts Fowler on. Maris on first. The Music Man is 0 for 1 today. He's due. The corners are in. Outfield straight up for Fowler. Young looks in. Checks on Maris. Here's the pitch. Maris goes. It's a line drive into right field, but plenty of time for Pound. Good read by Pound. A lot of ground to cover in that New York outfield, and nobody knows that better than Clown Pound. And there's 1 away. Maris still on first. He cuts his lead a little for Wyeth. Elmer Wyeth, no speed on the base pass. The third baseman is 0 for 2 today. The look in from old Gus to Thompson. Here's the pitch on the way. He'll check first base. Maris head first, back in time. One out with the runner on first. Young looks in. Here's the pitch to the righty Wyeth. Runner goes, and a great throw by the catcher, and he was 10 meters ahead. What you at home may call 30 feet. And Thompson is 27 for 56 in throwing on runners out. He threw a beam to the second baseman. No chance for Maris. And Maris will try to go about every time, and Thompson was ready for him, didn't bobble that time. And it's 2 outs now. That was a big play by the catcher Thompson. And the base runner gone. Makes it nobody on for Wyeth. 2 outs. 1-0 here. Here's the pitch from Gus Young. Inside pitch almost hits him. He backs away. Little chin music from Young. Wyeth not shaken. Wyeth is 0 for 2. Here's the 2-0 on the way. Inside pitch again, this one in the dirt. Called strike, if you can believe it. Some formal protests from the visitor dugout. It's 2-0. Call it 2-1. The line drive to center field. Pound's going to have to hustle. And he makes the grab. A fantastic display of athleticism from the star Neil Pound. He had to sprint dead ahead from the moment that ball left the bat. I don't know how he does it, folks. That'll do it for Baltimore. Nothing on a hit for the Clippers, and they remain ahead 2-1. Well, the defense this game has been dazzling in the Bronx. Ames back up for his 5th inning of work. It'll be Chilcott, Bonnie, Young, the bottom of the New York order up. Chilcott 0 for 1. He struck out. And here's the look in from Haynes. Pitch on the way. It's a called strike, a fastball right down the middle. It's 0-1. Well, here's the pitch from Marco Haynes to Eddie Chilcott. 0-1. A ball that just misses outside. That was a slider. It's a 1-1. 1-1 on the way to Eddie Chilcott. Floating fly ball on the infield. The first baseman will handle it. And there's 1 down. So here's the second baseman, Godfrey Bonnie. He's 0-1 on the day. The outfield is shallow for Bonnie. And here's the pitch from Haynes. Haynes at 49 pitches now, still very efficient. It's a called strike on the 2-seamer down low, 0-1. Really a strong start for the rookie Haynes. It's a matter of how deep into this game he can go, and at 50 pitches, if he continues like this, he'll go pretty far. We could expect a complete game if his efficiency stays on track. It's 1-1 now. On a 2-seamer that misses, it's been 2 sinkers in a row. Bonnie, not much of a bat. Decent glove, 1-1 now. Late swing and a miss on a changeup. Well positioned by Haynes, and it's 1-2. And the 1-2 on the way. He makes contact, wraps it foul down the third baseline. It's 1-2. And the look in from Haynes to Smith, and the right-handed batter takes the 1-2. Bonnie washes it. It's 2-2. Where's that curve from Haynes? We haven't seen the curve much, and when he's thrown it, he's mostly missed. 2-2 now with 1 out. Here's the pitch. He wraps it down the third baseline. That'll be fair. Plenty of time. And Wyeth has it. Bonnie is out. Well, it's 2 outs for the New York. Here's the pitcher, Gus Young, 0-1 on the day. Haynes remains efficient, just 55 pitches. He'll pitch now to the lefty, Gus Young. Fly ball deep into left field. That one's reaching the warning track. And Marsden pulls it in. The inning's over. The Kings are set down in order. Baltimore up 2-1. We flip it over to the top of the sixth for George Holbert. Holbert, Marshall, Marsden up for you. Holbert's 0 for 2 today. He has just one home run on the year, 31 hits and 11 RBIs. Gus Young at 79 pitches. No action in the bullpen. And here's the pitch in from Young to the righty Holbert. Inside pitch, well inside. That's a ball, 1-0. That was a fastball inside, and Holbert danced away from it. 1-0 now with the outfield straight up on George Holbert. Downstairs, called a strike at the shoelaces, 1-1. Holbert with a league average eye, no speed on the base paths. He is geological on the base paths. It's 1-1 now. Ball, outside, all fastballs from Young, and Gus is giving Holbert the gas. 2-1 now. Right up the middle, it's a base hit. Into the outfield. Bound is up with it. Throws it in. And with no outs, it'll be a single for Holbert. That'll bring up Marshall, who is displaying his flashy glove today. He's 1 for 2 with a home run. RBI. He hit that towering home run over the Lifebuoy sign. The look in from Young. Holbert on first, takes his lead. Here's the pitch on the way to Marshall. Inside pitch is hit to the shortstop. It's over his head. Into the outfield. Hart can't get to it. And Marshall has another base hit. So 2 runners on now. 8 hits for Baltimore here in the 6th. And Marshall is aboard. Holbert at second. Marsden on up now. 2-2 today. 2-4-2. And the Baltimore bats are really reeling. No outs, runner in scoring position. Baltimore leads New York 2-1 here in the 6th. From the stretch, here's the pitch from the lefty Young. He wraps it foul. Well, it'll be 0-1 now. Holbert with a big lead. Marshall with a narrow lead. The corners are in for New York. Outfield straight up on Marsden. Here's the 0-1. He shows bunt, but it bounces foul, third base side. And Marsden's worked 0-2. Young up to 86 pitches. Runners take their leads. Holbert on second, Marshall on first. Nobody out. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Stuart Marsden. Inside. Good stop there by the catcher Thompson. 1-2 now. Corner still in. Here's the pitch on the way to Marsden. Hacks it foul. Late swing on the curve. On top of it, 1-2. Here's the pitch. Outside. And Marsden works the count 2-2 on Young. And they are making Young earn every pitch here in the Bronx. 2-2 now. Runners take their leads. Here's the pitch. Hacked foul. We'll do it again. Good at-bat here. It's been 4 foul balls for Stuart Marsden. The count remains 2-2. Holbert at second, Marshall on first. Here's the pitch in from Gus Young. And the ball is low. Another fastball that misses, and the count is worked full. Runners on first and second. Ducks on the pond here for Marsden. Here's the pitch. Inside pitch is called a ball, and it's going to load the bases. Third walk for Gus Young. And the base is now jammed for Newell Barnard. He's 1 for 2 today with an RBI. And Young in some real trouble here. The outfield is shallow, the infield is in. Holbert on third, Marshall on second, Marsden on first. Here's the pitch in to Barnard from Gus Young. He misses downstairs and outside. It's 1-0. Bases jammed here in the top of the sixth. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Barnard. 1-1 on the called strike. Slider that fell in. 1-1 now. Barnard looks at Young. Young settles in. Here's the pitch. Foul. Ball drifting over the home dugout. 1-2. Young in a major jam for Barnard. No outs and the bases loaded. Here's the 1-2 on the way to Barnard. That'll be a base hit that falls into right field. A bit of a blooper there. Hard throw in home from the right fielder to hold the runners, and 1 run comes in. It's 1-3 now. Marshall advances to third. Marsden takes second. Holbert will score. So an RBI single for Barnard. The bases remain loaded with no outs for Connie Smith. Station to station go the Baltimore Clippers. Here's the catcher. He's 0 for 1 with a walk today. Young at 96 pitches, and he's in some real trouble now, folks. The infield remains in. The outfield is shallow. Here's the pitch on the way to Connie Smith. Inside pitch is a ball. Fastball upstairs, 1-0. And the runners take their leads for Young. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Outside, another fastball, and it's 2-0. The 2-0 on the way to Smith with the bases packed. Inside, nearly gets by. Another good block by Thompson. Thompson showed some real skill here. He blocks another one. Here's the 3-0. Hard hit ball down the first baseline, just goes foul. That would have scored more than one. But Masman lets it go, and it is 3-1. Big jam here for Young with the bases packed. Here's the pitch to the righty, Connie Smith. Inside pitch, called a ball. And they're going to walk one home. So it'll be an RBI walk for Connie Smith. It is the 4th walk of the night for Gus Young. That'll make it 101 pitches. No outs, and the bases remain jammed. And a wary silence is falling over the crowd here in New York as Marco Hames, the pitcher, comes out. He's 0 for 2 today. And unsurprisingly, the infield is in. Here's the pitch from Young. It's a ball well down in the shoestrings. 1-0. Outfield shallow for Hames. Here's the 1-0. Called strike, fastball. Right down the middle, 1-1. Marsden at third, Barnard at second, Smith at first. Hames, 1-1. The look in from Young from the stretch is the pitch from the southpaw. That's hit weakly on the infield, and we could see 2 here. He throws home and gets 1. Throws to first, not in time. Marsden is out. But some good defense there. Keeps the run from coming in, and the bases remain loaded with 1 out. Now they're back to the top of the Baltimore order with Rafi Maris, who is 2 for 3 today. Barnard on third, Smith on second, Hames on first. The look in from Young to Thompson. Here's the pitch to the lefty Maris. Inside pitch is smoked to left field. That one is at the warning track. Flory reaches up for the catch. A great catch. The runner will tag at third, and he'll score. Well, it's a sac fly RBI, and New York has seen enough. It'll be Clarence Bisco on the mound now, as old Gus is sat down here in the 6th. Right-handed Bisco has 18 pitches on the year, a smoking ERA of sub-1, 7 strikeouts, 7 walks. He's had a great year in relief so far, so it's no surprise that New York is bringing him in here as they trail 5-1 at home against Baltimore. Fowler is 1 for 3 against Risco, career-wise. Risco, Bisco, what's the difference? Bisco in. And here's the pitch into the Music Man, who is 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. Called strike. Runners on first and second now. Smith on second, Haynes on first. And the righty Bisco looks into the lefty Music Fowler. Here's the pitch. High, fly ball, deep center field. No luck on the win that time. And it's put away. 3 runs on 3 hits and 2 walks. 2 runners left on. The Clippers add to their lead. It's 5-1. Bottom of the 6th now, and New York hoping to get a rally started. It'll be Robert Thompson, the catcher, due up. Back to the top of the order. It'll be Thompson, Hart, Pound. Thompson 1 for 2 today. Haynes comes in with just 56 pitches here in the 6th. And the outfield is shallow for the leadoff batter, Thompson. Pitch in from the lefty, Haynes. Called strike at the knees, 0-1. Curve just caught it. Thompson watched it, 0-1. Here's the look in from Haynes. Pitch to the right-handed batter, Thompson. Fly ball, line drive, bounces. On a hop, and he got it. A shoestring catch. Barnard with a fantastic catch. And there's 1 out. We'll bring up Edgar Hart, who's 1 for 2 today. Batting from the right side of the plate, 1 out. Here's the pitch on the way from Haynes. That one a called strike, a splitter, in the bottom corner, 0-1. Outfield shallow on Hart. Here's the pitch from Haynes. Downstairs, called a strike, swinging strike rather, change up, 0-2. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts for Haynes. Nobody on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch on the way to Edgar Hart. A sinker that just misses downstairs, and Haynes wanted that one. It'll be 1-2. 1-2 on the way to Edgar Hart. He wraps one to the shortstop. Up in time. And it's a 6-3 on the out. No problem for Fowler. Make it 2 outs. And here's Neil Pound. Well, he's 0 for 2 on the day. No luck so far against the rookie Haynes. Crowd giving him a warm round of support. Last chance for a rally here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch to Pound from Haynes. Inside pitch called a strike, a slider. Pound didn't like it. It's 0-1. Pound is due. Here's the pitch from Haynes. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Guns him with a 2-seamer. Had him fooled there. And it's 0-2 to Pound. So the question is, will the rookie Ramarco Haynes challenge Pound here, or continue pitching around? Here's the 0-2. He wraps it foul. It was a slider. Down at the knees, 0-2 again. Haynes wipes his brow. Pound digs in. Here's the 0-2. A ball just inside. Well, Haynes staying away from him here. 1-2 now. Here's the pitch. Inside pitch is swung on. It'll be roped up the middle, and Pound is aboard. Well, that'll bring some cheers for the crowd. As Neil Pound gets his first hit of the evening, he does his part. He'll be on first for Edgar Maslin, who's 1 for 1 with a walk tonight. He has an RBI. Pound with a narrow lead. Haynes now at 67 pitches. 2 outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch to Edgar Maslin. Called strike, a little off the plate. It's 0-1. Outfield straight up for Maslin with Pound on first with 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Haynes. A ball in about the same place. It was another 2-seamer. This one called a ball. It's 1-1. Pound with a narrow lead. Here's the pitch from Hames to Maslin. He tries again in the same spot. It's been all on that outside bottom corner to Maslin. Hames shakes Smith off this time. Let's see if he drives a fastball. 2-1. Inside pitch. Swung on and hit. It's recovered by the third baseman. They take the lead runner to end the fray. Well, the Kings get a hit, but nothing else. Pound is sat down, along with Maslin. Still 5-1 in favor of the Clippers. And that'll do it here in the sixth. We'll be back after a word from our sponsor on your home for America's pastime, WLBL.
Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Legacy Baseball on WLBL, home of America's pastime.
Oh, the ball's still headed for the Poconos. The ball's still headed for the Poconos. When it's landing, fella, no one knows it's a hit for Leo McKenzie. Leo McKenzie with the series tied steps to the plate and hits a big broadside. Rounds the bases with the head first slide. It's a hit for Leo McKenzie. And the ball's still headed for the Poconos. The ball's still headed for the Poconos. When it's landing, fella, no one knows it's a hit for Leo McKenzie. Leo McKenzie with the game near one. Robin homers in the April sun. Threw it faster than the Gatling gun. It's an out for Leo McKenzie. And the ball's still headed for the Poconos. The ball's still headed for the Poconos. When it's landing, fella, no one knows it's a hit for Leo McKenzie. Leo McKenzie with the bases packed hits a curveball with a thunderous whack. Gave their starting pitcher cataracts. It's a run for Leo McKenzie. And the ball's still headed for the Poconos. The ball's still headed for the Poconos. When it's landing, fella, no one knows it's a hit for Leo McKenzie. Still headed for the Poconos. The ball's still headed for the Poconos. When it's landing, fella, no one knows it's a hit for Leo McKenzie. Well, the ball's still headed for the Poconos.
Your home for America's baseball coverage is WLBL, the official broadcaster of Legacy Baseball.
Well, we're through 6 here in the Bronx at Kings Field. Baltimore with a 5-1 lead on New York. And the long reliever Bisco is back out for another inning of work. 9 hits from Baltimore so far. Across the league over in the West, Pittsburgh is ahead of Cincinnati 7-2. St. Louis ahead of Cleveland 2-0. And Brooklyn ahead of New York in the 8th 3-1. It'll be Wyeth due up. Wyeth, Hulbert, Marshall here in the top of the 7th for Bisco. Wyeth is 0 for 3 today, despite that 311 average on the year. And we'll get things started in the 7th. Here's the pitch on the way from Bisco. Bisco pumps one a little low. Fastball just misses downstairs, 1-0. Wyeth due, an above-average hitter with a good eye. No speed on the base paths. And the 1-0 on the way from Bisco. Late swing and a miss on a fastball makes it 1-1. That fastball was well outside. And here's the pitch from Bisco to Wyeth. Swing and a miss again. 3 fastballs in a row from Visco, and Wyeth whips on another one. It's 1-2. No outs, top of the 7th. Here's the pitch on the way to Elmer Wyeth. Down low, just misses. Good take there by Wyeth. And the count evens at 2-2. 2-2 on the way from Visco. That'll be a fly ball into center field, and Pound is up on it. He closes his glove on it for the out. Well, one down quick, and it'll be lefty George Holbert, the first baseman, up. He's 1 for 3 today. He's 0 for 1 against Visco. And here's the pitch. A fly ball high on the infield, and the third baseman chasing after it. Bennett has it. Good read there by Bennett. Puts 2 down quickly, and Visco off to a strong start. It'll be John Marshall, the second baseman, up. He's 2 for 3 today with a home run. Here's the pitch. Outside pitch, and it's 1-0. Well, the good crowd's still here. Nobody's left their seats yet, and plenty of time for New York to come back with those powerful bats of theirs. It's 1-0 from Visco to John Marshall. Swing and a miss on a fastball. He was high up on it, and it's 1-1. 2 outs for Visco. He'd love a quick inning here. He's got Marshall 1-1. Here's the pitch. Line drive right field, right to the right fielder. Chilcott with good positioning. And the Clippers are set down in order. Another good frame by Visco. Baltimore still leading 5-1. Bottom of the 7th now. Due up is Bennett, Flory, Chilcott. Bennett 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's the pitch from Hames. Inside pitch. The slider misses. It's 1-0. Well, Bennett's had some good plays over at third base as well today. He's got a good eye. Here's the 1-0 from Hames. He wraps one to the shortstop. Fowler up with it. Easy out at first. So 1 down for Palmer Flory. We mentioned that Flory had really heated up in May after an abysmal start to the year. He's 0 for 1 with a walk today. Marco Hames with 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, only 1 earned run and only 4 hits and over 6 innings pitched. So he's got plenty of gas at just 73 pitches. Very good start. Here's the pitch to Flory. That'll be a sinker down low. Called a strike. It's 1-1. 0-1 rather. Hames looks into Smith, shakes him off, finds something he likes. Here's the pitch to Flory. Wrapped foul, late swing on a sinker. 0-2 now. Well, Hames has been really on point with his 2-seamer all game. They have been difficult for New York to hit. 0-2 now, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Flory. That's hit weakly on the ground to the second baseman, thrown over to first well in time. It'll be 2 outs now for New York, and the bats continue to struggle against Hames here in the 7th. It'll be Edward Chilcott, and that great catch last frame. He has 3 RBIs on the season. He is 0 for 2 tonight. And here's the pitch. Right down the middle. It's 0-1. Well, Hames has sent a few of those fastballs right down Main Street, and so far the Kings, for the most part, haven't bit at them. 2 outs, 0-1 now to Chilcott. Here's the pitch on the way. Fly ball, left center field. Marsden, there in time. Down in order goes New York, and another fantastic frame by Marco Hames, and the score remains unchanged, 5-1 Baltimore. Well, it's time for the bottom of the 7th. Top of the 8th, rather. That's hit hard on the ground. Great snag by the shortstop, and it's over in time. Hart dives and threw from his feet. What a nice play to get Marsden out at first base. Some defensive wizardry as the sun finally sets here at Kingsfield. One out quickly for Baltimore. It'll be Newell Barnett. And Bisco, well, he's really stifled the Baltimore team so far since he came out to replace old Gus. One out. Here's the pitch on the way to the center fielder, Newell Barnett. Hit weakly on the ground to the second baseman. That's snagged in time. Barney has it over to first, and there's 2 outs. Well, here's the catcher, Connie Smith. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Bisco. Wrapped foul. It's 0-1. So here in the top of the 8th, a couple chances left for New York. Baltimore looking to add to their 5-1 lead. Here's the pitch from the reliever, Bisco. Just misses outside on the fastball, and it's 1-1. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Inside. And Connie Smith has Clarence Bisco, 2-1. Bisco looks in, takes the sign from Thompson. Here's the pitch on the way to Smith. That's hit on the ground, past the second baseman and into the outfield. No real chance of Barney there. It gets in quickly. It'll be a base hit for Connie Smith. His first of the night, and he is aboard for the pitcher, Marco Hames. They'll keep Hames in. I'm sure the management would love to see Hames get a complete game. 2 outs. Smith with a narrow lead. The outfield is normal against Hames. Here's the pitch on the way from Bisco. Inside, ball 1. Well, it's 1-0 now. Short lead by Smith. Bisco looks in. Here's the pitch to Hames. Line drive, center field. Pound is under it. And that'll do it. Hames is sat down again. Nothing on a hit for the Clippers. Baltimore leads 5-1. Well, it's moment of truth time for the New York Kings. Bottom of their order with Hames, Bisco, and then back to the top with Thompson. Hames is pinch hitting. And it'll be Hames on Hames. Well, Marco Hames, through 7 innings, has allowed just 4 hits and 1 run, a pair of walks and strikeouts. And he'll look at the pinch hitter, who has a very strong bat. About average eye, no speed. Here's the pitch from Hames to Hames. That's a called strike down low at the knees, 0-1. So the 0-1 now on the way to the pinch hitter, Hames. That one is hit deep to center field. That has the distance over the Gen sign and gone. No doubt about it. That one is deep into the harbor. That could still be going. What a pinch hit blast by Lemuel Hames. A solo shot. I don't know if I've ever seen a ball hit that far into Baltimore Harbor. He absolutely annihilated a changeup from Hames. And it makes the score 5-2. Well, here comes old John Dabney. He'll be pinch hitting as well. So the Kings are pinching out the bottom of their order after a solo blast that went way deep. Hames will have to shake it off here for Dabney. I guess that means we've seen the rest of Bisco. And here's the pitch into Dabney. A strike, borderline slider, caught a corner. It's 0-1. 0-1 on the way to Dabney now. Inside pitch, called the ball. 2 sliders in a row from Hames. He's at 82 pitches. So plenty of gas left. The pinch hitter Dabney looks at Hames. Hames looks at Smith. Here's the pitch. A bunt attempt. Oh, that's creative. It'll be 2-1 as he pulls back. It was a curveball that missed inside. Here's the 2-1. He raps it to the shortstop up in time, and thrown over by Fowler to the first baseman. Dabney is out. So no luck on the pinch hit that time. It'll be one up. But they're back to the top of their order. So Edgar Thompson is 1 for 3, the catcher. Nobody on, bottom of the 8th. New York trails Baltimore 5-2. Here's the pitch from Hames. Called strike down low. Fastball 0-1. The outfield is shallow on Thompson. Here's the pitch. Hits it weakly to the shortstop. Good snag. And he misses in the throw. He throws from the knees and misses it. It was a great dive, but that'll be another E6 for Fowler, who was well off on that throw. And Thompson is aboard on the air. Maybe some trouble brewing for the Clippers. And here's Edgar Hart, who's 1 for 3. Thompson on first, shallow lead. Hames looks into Smith. Here's the pitch. Weakly hit on the ground. That'll be handled by the first baseman. He'll choose second base. No time for the relay. And 2 down on the fielder's choice. Hart is now at first for Neil Pound. Pound is 1 for 3. He hit one up the middle last time up. He can really do some damage. Hames at 87 pitches. He'd love to get through the frame. Bottom of the 8th, New York down 5-2. Runner on first. Here's the pitch to Clown Pound. Checks the runner at first. Good step off. Hart is back in time. More boos from the crowd. Here's the pitch to Neil Pound. Inside pitch wraps foul toward the visitor dugout. 0-1. Pound jammed up by an inside changeup. Here's the 0-1 from Hames. Inside again. Pound holds up this time. 1-1. 2 outs for Neil Pound. Runner on first. Here's the pitch from Hames. Inside again. It's been all inside. Well, we saw Hames pitch around Pound last time. Clearly trying the same thing again. Here's the 2-1. He put one right down the middle, but Pound missed it. That was a curveball that ended up right in the middle of the strike zone. Pound unable to connect. It's 2-2. Hart on first. Here's the pitch in from Hames. That's hit weakly on the ground to the second baseman. Up in time, thrown over, and that does it. He just gets him, and Pound is retired. Marshall continues that strong gloving. Side retired in the home 8th. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error with 1 left on, and the Kings pull closer. The score now 5-2. Well, it'll be Anthony Anderson on now. Anderson, 0-1 on the year, just 12 innings of work and some change. He's given up 11 hits, 3 runs, 7 walks, and 6 strikeouts for an ERA of 2.13. So some really good velocity and movement from Anthony Anderson, and he will walk his fair share. Back to the top of this Baltimore order, it'll be Maris, Fowler, Wyeth. So you can see why they want Anderson in here, although Bisco had himself a really strong couple of frames. So Anderson will start things off here in the top of the 9th. It'll be Rafael Maris. First pitch is just low, fastball downstairs, called a ball. And it's 1-0. Maris 2 for 3 today. He has a bag. He was caught stealing last time. Here's the pitch. Another one that just misses. 2 fastballs, 2 just low, and it's 2-0. Anderson will look into Thompson. And here's the pitch to Maris. Another ball, outside, makes it 3-0. Maris has Anderson in the hole. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and he walks him. 4 pitches and a walk. Last one was outside. All fastballs. So with no outs, Maris is on first now, and we'll see if he tries to steal again here in the 9th. It'll be Music Fowler up. Fowler 0 for 3 on the day. He does have a walk. Middle depth for the infielders. Here's the pitch on the way. He wraps one of the first basemen, has it in time for one, back to the bag, no throw. Good spear by Maslin. Hart tried to leapfrog there, but no relay. Probably the right call, but one is put down, so Fowler goes to first. Wyeth now up to bat. One out. Wyeth is 0 for 4 on the day. He'd love to avoid that goose egg in 5. Here's the pitch from Anderson. Called strike on the inside corner, 0-1. 5 hits for New York. Compare that against Baltimore's 10. Fowler with a big lead on first. Here's the pitch from Wyeth. They check Fowler, head first slide, back in time. Anderson settles in, looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch with Fowler on first. Late swing and a miss on the fastball, and it is 0-2. 0-2, one out, Fowler on first, top of the ninth. Here's the pitch from Anderson. That is a line drive down the third baseline over the head of the third baseman, and the runner will hold up. So a single for Wyeth puts Fowler on second for George Holbert with one out. First hit allowed by Anderson. So a hit and a walk so far for the closer here. One out, here's Holbert. Called strike, down the middle. Holbert 1 for 4 tonight. Ducks on the pond for Holbert. Anderson looks in. Here's the pitch on the way. Wrapped foul. Misses on a fastball right down the middle. It'll be 0-2. Anderson keeping it low, looking for the double play ball. Fowler on second, Wyeth on first. Here's the pitch to Holbert. Line drive down the left field line, hooking foul. And with no small measure of disappointment, the base runners will back off as he smoked that ball, but the wind caught it and blew it left of the pole. It's 0-2. 0-2, runners on. Here's the pitch from Holbert. Inside, 1-2. Well, Fowler and Wyeth take their leads. Here's George Holbert, 1 for 4. Here's the pitch. Inside pitch, called the ball. Down in the dirt inside, 2-2. Just one out here in the top of the ninth. Here's the pitch. Misses outside, and the count works full. Anderson near to loading the bases here with one out. That was a circle change from Anderson. I think that's the first time we've seen it. Full count, one out from the stretch. Here's the payoff pitch by Anthony Anderson. He misses him outside, and that loads the bases for Baltimore. Anthony Anderson is out of room, and it's John Marshall. Marshall 2 for 4 on the day with a home run and an RBI. 305 on the year, bases loaded with one out. We can see if he's got another home run in him. The wind has died down a bit, but it's put 2 out so far this game. It's one out. Here's the pitch from Anderson to Marshall with the bases packed. Outside, and it's 1-0. Runners take their leads. Top of the ninth, one out. Bases loaded for the second baseman, John Marshall. Outfield is deep, infield is in. Here's the pitch. Inside. 2-0 now. Anderson will struggle with walks. He's walked 9 batters in just 13 innings of work so far this year. And the 2-0 with the bases jammed to George Marshall. One out. Right down the middle. Line drive right field. Could be foul. And it falls. So foul ball, and the runners will retreat. 2-1, one out. Here's the pitch with the bases loaded to John Marshall. Right down the middle. That's hit hard. It'll be missed by the shortstop, and one will get home. Hart unable to come up with the ball. Run scores on the air. No, they won't rule it an error. They're going to rule it a hit, although it came out of Hart's glove. So So the base is loaded for Marsden now. Marsden 2 for 3 on the night. Baltimore extends their lead over the Kings 6-2. 12 hits for the Clippers tonight. Here's the pitch to Marsden. Inside pitch, called a ball, 1-0. Anderson would love to get out of this inning, would love something on the ground. Just one out with the bases still packed. Here's the pitch on the way to Marsden. Inside again, ball 2. It's been circle change fastball to Marsden. And here's the 2-0. Another ball, this one missing outside. Anderson could lose him. It's 3-0. Bases loaded. And a pitch called a strike right down the middle. Marsden takes it to make it 3-1. Dangerous pitch, but Marsden spits on it. 3-1 now. Bases jammed. Here's the pitch from Anthony Anderson. Outside pitch will bring another one home on a walk. Well, things getting out of hand here in the ninth as Baltimore scores again. An RBI walk for Marsden. 3 walks on the night for Anderson. And it is 7-2 Baltimore. Newell Barnard is 2 for 4 tonight. He is up with the bases loaded with 1 out. Here's the pitch from Anderson. Inside, called a ball. 1-0. Runners take their lead. It's Holbert at third, Marshall at second, Marsden at first. Anderson looks into Thompson. Here's the pitch to the righty Barnard. Right down the middle, called a ball. Fell low. 2-0. Well, Anderson leans in again. Big jam. Here's the pitch to Barnard with the bases packed. Late swing and a miss. And it's strike 1. Unable to catch up with the fastball there. 1 out, 2-1 now to Barnard. Here's the pitch from Anderson. Hit down the first base line, foul. Evens the count to 2-2 on Barnard. He has 2 RBIs this evening. Here's the pitch from Anderson. That one misses, and the count is worked full again. Bases loaded, full count. Baltimore up 7-2 in the ninth. 1 out. Here's the pitch on the way from Anderson. Inside, and he walks another one home. So 2 walked home in a row, and New York is very deep into their bullpen already. So the same old story here in the ninth. Bases loaded. 1 out. It'll be Connie Smith, the catcher, who's 1 for 2 at the walk today. He has 1 RBI. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Inside. 1-0. Anderson trying to maintain his composure out there, and we wonder if pulling Bisco was a good move. They did need the pinch hitter. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, I suppose, but it's 1-0 now for Anderson on Smith with the bases loaded and 1 out. Here's the pitch, inside. 2-0. Circle change misses. And the 2-0 to Smith. Downstairs in the dirt, good block, 3-0. The look into Thompson, 3-0, runners packed. Here's the pitch. He misses again, so it'll be 3 walked home by Anderson. 4 runs now for Baltimore this inning. They now lead 9-2. And with 1 out, here's the pitcher, Marco Hames. Marsden at third, Barnard at second, Smith at first. Here's the pitch from Anderson. Hooked foul. Haines 0 for 4 today. And I think we can safely say they're giving him the complete game now, at least they hope to, as he is not pinched. Here's the pitch from Anderson. Outside, called a ball, 1-1. The look in, and the pitch to Hames. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1-2 now to the pitcher, Marco Hames. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball, 2-2. Bases loaded in the top of the ninth. Baltimore up 9-2. Here's the pitch on the way from Anderson. He's walked 3 in so far. 2-2. And another ball. 1 out, full count now. Will he walk in 4? Here's the pitch. Line drive left field. Hooking foul. Marco almost got his first major league hit and RBI there. But they'll all turn around. The count remains full with 1 out. Here's the pitch. And it is low, and 4 runners walked in now. A disaster for Tony Anderson. All you can hear is the train whistle in the distance here in New York. And, mercifully, in comes the left-handed pitcher, Rich McCrary. So a bit of a meltdown there from Tony Anderson, puts in the reliever McCrary. McCrary, 15 innings of work, 9 hits, 1 earned run, 6 walked. So with 5 strikeouts, McCrary has had a very strong season so far. He'll try to end the bleeding here in the top of the 9th. And they're back to their top of their order, and they've officially batted around. It's Maris, Fowler, Wyeth. Here's the first pitch from McCrary. Hit weakly on the ground. The pitcher will take it for 1. He'll throw home. They'll try for first, and they got him. What a double play. Well, the 1-2-3 isn't one you see every day, folks, but you saw it tonight, and that'll do it. And how do you like that? Good job by McCrary in getting out of that abysmal inning, but not before Baltimore gets 5 runs across, 4 of them on walks, and they are now smoking New York 10-2. Well, we head to the bottom of the 9th and the last 3 outs for Maslin. One more chance for the Kings. Some life in the crowd, though we do see some fans heading home. And Hames, how about this kid? 26 years old, his first game of the big leagues. He's going for the complete game with 5 hits, just 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. It would be memorable if he can close the deal here. He's at 92 pitches, so around 20 to 30 more before his arm will be in trouble. It'll be Maslin, Bennett, Flory. And here's the pitch on the way. Called strike down low. Hames starts out strong, 0-1 now. Here's the pitch to Maslin. Downstairs, fastball misses, it's 1-1. Maslin, 1 for 2 today. He has a walk. And here's the pitch. Wrapped foul toward the visitor dugout, it's 1-2. So he misses on the splitter. It'll be 1-2 now. It's been 2-seamer, 4-seamer splitter to Maslin from Hames. Maslin with a lot of power. He has 1 RBI tonight. Here's the pitch. Fly ball. Maybe out of play. And it hooks foul. So Maslin stays alive. 1-2 now after the long fly ball on the low splitter. Here's the pitch. Late swing and a miss, and he is gunned down. The catcher drops the ball, but has it over in time. Good retrieval there by Smith, and Holbert is retired. 3 strikeouts now for Hames, and the Kings are down to 2 outs. Here's William Bennett. Bennett 0 for 3. Here's the pitch from Hames. Hacked foul. 0-1 now. Hames at 98 pitches. He's had a very efficient game. Here's the pitch. Hooked foul again. And he quickly has the third baseman 0-2. 1 out. Here's the pitch on the way from Hames to Bennett. That one downstairs. The 4-seamer misses. It'll be 1-2. Well, just 2 outs left for Hames before he has his first complete game in his first start in the LBL. Here's the 1-2 on the way to Bennett. That one's a hard-hit ball to the shortstop, picked up in time with a good grab, and he is thrown out at first. Good move there by Fowler. And it'll bring up Palmer Flory. Flory 0 for 2 with a walk today. 1 out left for the Kings. Hames is 1 out away from his complete game. The outfield is shallow on Flory. And here's the pitch. Hames has allowed just 5 hits in this game. 2 runs. Called strike on a changeup makes it 0-1, and Flory's down to 2 strikes. Baltimore leads New York 10-2. Some good support for Hames by his offense. Here's the 0-1. That's a line drive into center field. Should be played on a hop. No, he gets it. A shoestring catch by the center fielder, and that does it. Final score here in the Bronx, Baltimore pummels New York 10-2. 12 hits on 2 errors. No errors for New York, just 5 hits. And what a start by Marco Haynes. Welcome to the big leagues, kid. A complete game, 5 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and only 2 earned runs. Thank you for tuning in to your home for America's pastime. We'll catch you next game on the WLBL network.
Thank you for listening to Legacy Baseball on your home for America's pastime, WLBL.